Hello, Vamily, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for this World of Darkness Vamily Holiday. We're so happy to be here. And before we start, this is benefiting a really awesome charity that I hope that we've already reached the goal. It's direct relief, and it helps people who are directly affected by COVID-19, by the pandemic. So if you haven't already donated and you can spare something, every penny counts. And before we introduce these lovely kindred that we have, this is going to be an introduction to a chronicle that's upcoming soon called Blood on the Grand Strand. And I want to remind everyone that this is a V5 game. This is a vampire game. We've gone over our safety, our consent, but if it's too much for you, if you need to take a break or you want to wait for the VOD, check in with yourself. Your safety and well-being is important to all of us. So let's introduce our players, starting with the Primogen. Tell us who you are, who you're playing.
Hello, I'm the Primogen, and tonight I am playing Anthony Tulip, the right-hand man, handyman, and enforcer of Mr. Piero, or Pyro, or however you'd like to pronounce it. I am playing a caitiff who's been in the city for a little while. Don't know who my sire is. Doesn't really matter. I'm here to start fresh.
And Mr. George, if you could go next.
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm going to be playing Hunter Pierrot, a local gambling enthusiast who has a small side business just to keep things ticking along, and I am deeply invested in the well-being of local kindred.
Thank you. Kitsu, if you could go next. You're muted, Kitsu. She's muted.
Hold the space
You
bar,
need to-
Kitsu. It'll let you talk.
Then turn off the mute.
Okay. Everyone's
No?
kind of very robot-y.
Oh,
Ona?
huh. I can't hear anyone any longer. Hello, can you hear
Okay,
me?
we can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. That
Okay,
Lasombra
good.
must be hanging around somewhere.
Hello, I am Kitsu. I play Aster Tuber today. And I don't think I'm supposed to disclose anything about her, am I? So,
You can tell us that
yes,
she's
I'm
a
a Tremere.
Tremere.
Yes.
And Harry, who are you playing?
Yes, I am playing Dr. Galen Somnus, a salubri, who would have liked to remain under the radar, but that didn't happen, so I have an eye scotch taped to my forehead. Let's go.
Excellent. All right, so let's start. Let's begin. Let's tell a vampire story. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, known colloquially to the residents as the Grand Strand. It's a city built over a beach that extends 60 miles or 97 kilometers to you weirdos who use the obviously superior metric system. One of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the United States and the major center of tourism in South Carolina. Its attractions, golf courses, and of course the beach draw in over 14 million visitors, tourists, people every year. It's an excellent place to be a vampire. Well, it would be, were it not for recent events that have left the anarchs here on the Grand Strand fractured, fearful of increased Second Inquisition activity, and for a lot of them, leaderless. 2 months ago, on Halloween night, the popular longtime Baron Lencho met the final death under mysterious circumstances. His right hand, a toreador named Baron Park, now claims his barony, and her grasp on power here is tenuous at best. Unable to form meaningful alliances, Baron Park has resorted to the unsavory arts of extortion, bribery, and threats. And that is how these 4 licks find themselves together in a coterie, directly in service to the Baron. You all have been tasked with doing something important this evening. And as Dara, a ghoul that Astrid has brought with her, you assume it's her ghoul, she drives you in a sleek black SUV. And as the neon lights and the palm trees give way to dark woods and dirt roads, wherever you are going, you know that you are leaving the city, going far outside of it to the outskirts of Baron Park's barony. And it'll take you some time to get there.
Well, I suppose I should explain myself. That goddamn Baron Park, she had a pleasant conversation with me. Explained that, I gotta find some goddamn contact of hers in the middle of goddamn nowhere. You ever heard of Laris?
I don't believe I'm familiar with the name, no.
Nah, me neither. I heard of a slow Laris. Cute little things. Had one as a pet one time.
Aren't those venomous?
Oh, yeah. But,
Wonderful.
you know, the eyes are, very shiny and very large. When you say, you seen a picture of him?
I've interacted with them personally.
Can we stay on topic, please?
Apologies, Anthony.
Got it.
I don't know what's gonna end up happening, but we gotta deal with some La Sombra. So, if you wouldn't mind explaining to me exactly what you want to do when we get there? Still muted.
I am... Oh.
We're still muted.
No, you're no longer muted.
Good. So, can I talk? Are you guys done? Great. Basically, the instruction was that we've got to get this La Sombra. You got that right. I've got like I've got a beef with these guys because they've got something. Basically, let's just say I personally know we just got to get rid of these guys if possible. And they are pretty powerful. They are the one that are responsible for killing the old Baron, so.
Well, I don't know whether I want to hurt them or make friends with them.
Of course you wouldn't.
The choice is clear. If they're threatening the Masquerade as they might be, it's in everyone's interest to get rid of them.
Oh, of course, that's just a little joke of mine. You know how long I'm gonna be until we get there?
It'll be about 5 more minutes, Miss Astrid. She specifically directs it to Astrid and not to you, Hunter. And as you look out the window, it's so dark. There are no streetlights here. There are no stars in the sky this evening, and all you can see is blackness in every direction.
If
Well-
you know what's right for you, let me just set these ground rules because these were given to me as well. So, you know, I think they were given to me for a reason, and so should you. Basically, don't tell anyone how old you are, what generation you are, who is your sire, who's their master's, who's their master, anything. Just like, you know. She like makes zippy sounds and throws out the window. Closed window, by the way. But you know.
Understood.
Dara looks pointedly at Astrid and furrows her brows as if to say, "Stop talking."
Right.
And before you know it, the car slows down and you hear the crunchy noise of dirt and gravel mixed together as Dara pulls into what you could only describe as a rinky-dink sheriff's station. Almost a single log cabin with a trailer that seems to have been pulled in by vehicle and placed next to the building. There's nothing attaching the trailer to the building, and the trailer itself is rusted with bits falling off. At least here, there is one single streetlight that barely illuminates the area. We're here, Miss Astrid. Should I accompany you or should I wait in the car?
I think it's best to stay.
I'll keep watch then. She puts
Thanks.
the car into park, but leaves the keys in the ignition. Do you all exit the vehicle?
Astrid
Yeah, I'll
goes-
get my bag of fun little cocktails and head out.
As you all exit the vehicle into the parking lot, I need Anthony specifically to roll me wits and awareness. The rest of you see a woman leaning against a black nondescript sedan. She's wearing, she has a badge on her hip, but the outfit she's wearing is very nice. It must cost her the entirety of a detective's salary in 1 year. She has very tan skin and very thick hair that she has pulled back into a high ponytail, and she's just leaning against her sedan, her arms folded. What did you get, Anthony?
3 successes.
You know who this is. This is the partner of your contact in the Myrtle Beach Police Department. You know her name is Detective Porter. As you approach, she uncrosses her arms and she says, well, 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 I suppose you're the cavalry and you finally arrived. I'm Detective Faith Porter.
Pleasure to meet you, Detective. I'm not sure we've had the privilege.
I highly doubt it. I seem to know your face, sir. She looks at you, Anthony. Although sometimes I think it looks a little different than it does tonight.
It's a strange thing to imply. Perhaps it's because I haven't shaved in a while. Detective Porter, if I'm not mistaken, you are homicide, correct?
I certainly am. And if
On the way.
I'm not
Oh,
pardon me,
no, do carry on.
if I'm not mistaken, you are the coterie that your prince has sent to me. Is that correct?
I'll field that one. Lovely to meet you. My name's Hunter. Yes, the Prince Park. She's been oh so obliging in allowing us to investigate this one all by our lonesome. So if you could find out or tell us exactly where we're supposed to be going, anything useful, that would be, well, mighty fine of you.
Well, aren't you just a gentleman?
I try my best. He winks.
Your prince, or I'm sorry, maybe it's your baron. I am but a simple ghoul. I don't really know the ins and outs of your politics. I got a call on the radio, or I overheard a call on my radio, and a girl was found wandering around Route 9. And some flatfoots picked her up, and there was a body. The body looked like it was mauled by some kind of animal. To me, it just set my buzzers off. It didn't sound right. So I drove down and I made the cops disappear. And I brought the girl here. I brought the body here. And I called someone who could get me in touch with people like you. So,
Good thing that you corrected yourself, Detective Porter. There are plenty of our kind in this city who would not take kindly to you referring to our prince. Baron is the correct nomenclature.
well, I appreciate your edification, Mr. Tulip. on her person, to whoever is interested, it was this, and she hands it to you, Anthony, and I'll tell you what it is in just a moment, and this, and out from behind her, she pulls out a 9mm Glock, and she hands it to you, Astrid, since you are the next closest to her. What has occurred here is quite clearly, once you see the body and once you talk to this girl, that something supernatural has occurred here, and it is not up to me to keep the masquerade. It is up to me to inform. It's up to me to do what I'm told, and I'm told to tell you to do what you must to keep the masquerade.
Of course.
Anthony, intelligence, academics. What you are holding. Luckily, you have 3 other people with you who may know what this is.
That is, on 2 guys, a message.
Well, unfortunately, as you said, this is not your strong suit. And as you look at it, and the language that is on this laminated card inserted into what looks like a leather-bound case, makes you angry, makes you frustrated. This is not what you do. And your beast is frustrated, it stretches in your chest, and your hunger increases by 1. And that puts you at 4 hunger, I believe, for the evening.
It certainly does.
Oh no.
You are hangry. You're famished. And as much as you don't want to, if this detective mouths off to you again, you don't know if you're going to be able to resist drinking her dry.
Fortunately, I have had many years of practice in tempering my temper, so now I will simply pass the documents to the good doctor.
I'll take a look at it. Frankly,
And-
I've given prostate
Myself
exams to
taking a little
baboons
walk.
with more self-control than you, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Doctor. What was your last name?
Somnus.
Thomas. I would not tempt the beast any further tonight. For now, I will simply take it. Enjoy the cipher documents.
Harry, or Gallon, intelligence academics.
Yep, I made the roll and got 1 success.
You don't know what this is. This language is very strange. You don't think you've ever seen this language before. You can see a
Goodness
picture on it. It's a picture of a man. Nothing exceptional. Would you like to pass it on to either Hunter or Astrid?
Astrid, would you like to give this a
Hmm.
chance? I have a feeling that Hunter spent most of his academic career getting high behind the bleachers.
Astrid,
Well-
you don't need to make a roll. You know
Oh.
exactly what this is because you speak this language. This is the
Oh.
language that your grandmother spoke, Romanche, from Switzerland. And as you look at it, you can read it plainly. This is the identification for a Swiss honor guard serving directly under the Pope in Vatican City. You've never seen one before, but you have no idea what this person was doing here in Myrtle Beach, very far away from their duties and their home.
This was found on the girl's body, you say?
This was found on the mauled gentleman who I have
On the mold.
rotten away in the little trailer over there. This is what we call out in the boonies, out in the sticks. We don't have a coroner out here.
Would you mind if I take a look at the body?
I would certainly hope that you'll all take a look at the body and tell me exactly what happened to him. I've been around the block a few times. I've seen bobcats. I've seen coyotes tear apart people. It doesn't look anything like this.
Well, this gentleman is, for one, very far away from their home country because this is a Swiss guard.
I thought Swiss spoke German. Didn't look like German to me.
No, it's specifically the Pope's guard. So
Pope's
this
guard.
I believe so.
I didn't know the Pope had guards. There ain't no too many Catholics down here in the South.
Well, that's odd. Well, here we go. So I don't know. Is there a name or anything? An expiry date? Is this like a old document, new document? What? Is there anything I can discern?
There is a name.
Okay.
The name is Florian, with a U instead of an O. Is his first name.
Oh gosh. Okay. And then last name? Anything, or is that important?
Yeah, Florian Briggs. Thinking maybe he had an American parent.
Yes, an interesting combination.
Age?
24.
Hmm?
Very young.
Any kind of well, is there like a date when the document was issued? When does it expire? Is it expired or is it still valid?
There seems to be no expiration date. This
Mhm.
doesn't seem to be a typical European ID card, which you would also be familiar with, being from Bavaria. It seems to have been issued 4 years ago, but there is no expiration date.
Okay.
If you would like to interview the witness and see the body, here are the keys. They'll open every door. There's only 3 keys on here.
That's my favorite kind of key. I snatch it.
Like I said, this is in the middle of nowhere. I'll be in my car listening to the radio in case any more friendlies decide to come and try and help out in case they heard what was going on, and I'll make sure that they skedaddle home to their wives and their kids.
Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
You're the best.
Detective.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere, Mr. Pirat.
And vice versa.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for help. I pulled out my hand.
She looks you up and down and very cautiously puts her hand into yours.
Firm grip. No threat. No extra force involved. Just shake her hand. So it's
You get the feeling that she knows predators when she sees them.
You have very delicate fingers. You should consider modeling.
I'm afraid I'm far too old for that, Mr. Tulip, and I prefer to use my mind as opposed to my body. But thank you for the recommendation. I'll take it to heart.
I'm going to take Anthony aside and I am going to use our cryptolect so no one knows what the hell's anyone's saying. It's like, you're a little testier tonight. Just like using little gestures and little clicks as he's saying seemingly unrelated words.
Since that is new to the companion guide, do you want to explain exactly what that means?
Oh yeah. Hunter has invented his own language that is essentially able to obfuscate any communication between the 4 of us to onlookers or listeners in. Anthony, you're a little testy tonight. You don't intimidate the poor woman.
My apologies, Mr. Piro. I will refrain from any such actions in the future. I'm merely a little hungry.
Well, in that case, you should have said, I can tell you what, later on, you can just let yourself off the chain. I'm sure the situation will call for it. I know I can count on you. Let's interview this witness. Everyone, you're ready.
Faith goes into the front seat of her car and turns her light on inside her car. You can hear the radio clicking. She keeps in there and she starts typing away on the integrated keyboard, integrated laptop that's in there. And you have the keys, Hunter, I believe. So you have two choices. You can go into the station and speak to the witness first, or you can go into the trailer where she, I suppose, unceremoniously laid a dead body in.
What does everyone want to do? Hunter's interested in interviewing the witness, but
That
he can
interests
open the
me
other one.
greatly as well. I can take a look at the body afterwards, but interviewing the witness would be the best place to start.
I don't mind investigating the body myself. I have some experience with this kind of damage.
Of course. Any preference, Astrid? Astrid seems to have frozen.
Oh,
Well, I know I'm stunning, but that don't count.
Well, Sombra is definitely in Astrid, wherever Astrid is.
I will go see what the issue is.
Mr. Somnus, would you like to escort me while we interview our friend?
Of course.
I open up the station and go inside.
I follow.
What you see inside the station is exactly what you would expect to see from the outside. It is paint peeling, light bulbs flickering. There's maybe one industrial fluorescent light in this entire building. There seems to be nobody working here. The computer is still on behind the receptionist desk, but it maybe Faith made everybody leave in whatever way she's able to do that. And there is one single interrogation room. And as you enter and the door closes loudly behind you, you hear a woman start going, hello? I can hear y'all out there.
Yeah,
I have my rights.
It's
Can't
all
keep me
right.
in here.
You,
I get a phone call or a soda or something.
you
I'll go into
absolutely do.
Well, I want a soda. I want a Pepsi Cola.
Is there some sort of fridge or like vending machine here?
Yes, there is a very old-fashioned Pepsi vending machine.
I am
Looks
going
looks
to.
like it's from the 90s, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some cash into that and see what happens.
Okay. Chris, is Astrid's thingy gonna work or no?
We are currently working on it. It looks like it's going to be finished.
Okay.
So you put money into the Pepsi Cola, and she's still shouting as you're doing this, as you're putting in a dollar worth of quarters. And she's still going, I want to talk to a lawyer, too. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get a lawyer. I know. I watch Law and Order. I watch NCISTD or whatever it's called.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna go into the room, and before anything
Well,
goes...
Hunter has the keys.
Oh, yes.
Faith locked her in.
Hunter, would you mind giving me the keys for a moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna be bashing the vending machine like.
Yeah, the vending machine looks like it actually probably doesn't work very well, and you have to sort of keep pressing the different, it's like 8 rows of all just Pepsi Cola, but not any of them works yet. You're on the first row.
Yeah, I just throw him the keys.
Thank you. I will let myself into the interrogation room.
What you see when you enter is a very thin, short, almost emaciated looking young woman. Maybe she's 21 if you squint and turn your head. She has very thin, stringy, dark hair. She's very pretty eyes, but it looks like they're 2 jewels set in a face that desperately needs polishing. She looks like she needs a warm meal, a soft bed, and a hot shower. Desperately, like yesterday. And when she sees you, she's very frightened. She steps back. She doesn't expect to see anybody to come in. She may have been shouting here for a long time. She's
all right.
Are you here? Let me go. You don't look like a cop.
No, I'm a doctor. I'm here to make sure everything's okay.
Well, I'm fine. I don't need a doctor. Don't take my blood or nothing. I don't like
I'm
needles.
going to activate Obea, or Obea,
Mhm.
which soothes the emotions of a subject, especially mortals. It requires 1 rouse check.
Yep.
And it is, yeah. And it puts them at a sort of stable emotional place.
What is the result of that rouse check? You're muted, just so you know.
I fail. I am 1 dot. I am up
So that
to 3.
puts you at 3 hunger.
And my third eye bleeds a bit. I'll just...
And yep. What do you do now that you're using Obea on her and it starts leaking down out of that third eye? How do you stop?
I'll just take a little tissue and dab at it.
Okay. Is there something covering your third eye so she can't see it?
Right now, just my hair.
Just your hair. Okay. So you instinctively put a tissue there as you activate Obea, and your beast stretches in your chest, and he says, "She smells good. She smells real good. And you've been good."
You and I both know that this is not the one we'll feed from.
It could be, if you would just let me. And I
But
know
it
you
won't.
want to. Calming down your beast. What do you project onto this woman?
I want to project a feeling of calm and safety. I want her to feel relaxed so that she can tell us things.
She looks at you really strangely for a second, and then you see her abdomen swell as she takes in a deep breath, breathes out through her mouth, and without you having to ask her or insist, she takes a seat, and she leans back in the seat, almost relaxed, almost casual. Well, I guess if you're gonna stick a needle in me, I'm okay with that. You seem like a nice person.
I don't believe that'll be necessary. I'm simply here to ask you some questions.
Hunter, you finally retrieved from the very last button that you hit. You got a Coke. You got a Pepsi. Took you pressing about 10 buttons, but you got it.
I just kind of casually walk in like, "I'm so sorry, miss. Here is your soda."
Oh, well, thank. And she looks at you, and you can tell instantly you know. She likes what she sees. And she says, "Oh, well, why, thank you. That's so awfully kind of you." And her accent gets even a little bit more pronounced.
Well, you are more than welcome. What brings a wonderful woman like you to a horrible place like this?
Before she answers you, Anthony and Astrid, do you also enter this room?
I was intending to inspect the body, but perhaps.
Well, unfortunately, Hunter and now Galen has the keys, so you have to wrestle it away from them.
Well, if I was already in here, I do believe I will have to roll a defense and defense check.
Well, you weren't in the room with Galen. He went in there while you were probably waiting with Hunter. That is your usual MO, as he was
Of course.
hitting every button on this vending machine, and you were probably wondering why he's bothering.
Just-
Exactly.
Well, so I will have to roll as well.
And Astrid, are you in the room as well? Or are you waiting outside the room?
No, she's well, one of them. You said, did we already inspect the corpse or
No.
Okay. And so I would like to go inspect the corpse, but
As soon as Galen is done, he's now the holder of the keys, and he seems quite fixated on helping this woman. And you would have witnessed this woman being scared and then suddenly being quite relaxed from one second to the other.
sounds like he's working his charm.
Well, I wasn't supposed to be here tonight, you see. What's your name?
Well, my name's Hunter. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm here as an investigator, and I need to know what it is you saw.
Well, my name's Erica, and
That's a beautiful name.
Oh, I thank you. I already told the lady cop, what happened. You want me to tell you again?
Well,
If
she
didn't
was a
tell
bit
you?
light on details. I'd rather hear it from your wonderful mouth. It's much more informative when we get
Oh, my.
first-hand information.
Well, you do know how to talk to the ladies, don't you, sir?
I was raised proper, and I make sure that everyone gets their due respect.
I can tell you're just a good old Southern boy. Well, I was walking along the strip tonight. That's usually where I hang out, over on Ocean Boulevard. I don't know if you're from Myrtle Beach, but that's what we call Ocean Boulevard. We call it the strip. And, I was looking to party, and there's this new drug that's going around. It's like really fun. It makes you feel really good. It's kind of like Molly, but it's even better. And it's called Tendar sugar. But the problem is that there's a guy selling it, and I owe him some money, and he wouldn't give me none. So I heard. Well, I met this guy. He said his name was Flynn, and he seemed real nice. Had a funny accent, but he said that there was this place, this church, where they're using the drug in like their worship or something. And he said if we just went there, that we could get some. So that's why we came all the way out here. I mean, I've never been to Loris before. Loris is like in the middle of nowhere. I bet there's bobcats all over this damn place.
I know exactly what you mean. It's a weird place. You say a church?
Well, that's what he said. We didn't actually make it there because he got mauled. I don't know, some man came out of the woods and attacked him, and I don't know what happened. It was so fast, and just Flynn had a gun, apparently, and I pulled out his gun, and he shot him a bunch, and he didn't fall down. He just jumped on Flynn and drank him, bit into his body, and the blood was going everywhere. And then these other men come out of the woods with bigger guns, and they chase him off, and Flynn died. I couldn't carry him. I ain't strong enough, so I just started walking down. I don't have a cell phone. I can't afford it, so I just I gotta go to Walmart and get a new track phone. But I just walked down the highway, and somebody stopped and called the cops for me. I was so scared.
I can only imagine. Well, I know this might be difficult for you, but do you have any idea about where we might find this church?
Yeah, it's just up the way, Route 9. It's maybe like a mile from here. We were almost there. That's what Flynn said. I don't know. I ain't never been here.
Well, you have been invaluable. I'm going to make sure that my associate gets you home nice and safe. How does that sound?
Yeah, okay. I really like the doctor. He was real nice too. I think I know you, sir. Oh, when I was younger, I had a turtle that I found on the beach, and I think I brought it to you. Are you a veterinarian?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, you were real nice. You look the same. You must gotta tell me your secret. You look younger than me.
I think it's just in the blood.
All right. She looks warily at you, Anthony. She doesn't want to talk to you, and she looks at Astrid. And I think, are you a cop too? Never seen a cop with a nose ring before.
I'm undercover. It's
I don't know if undercover cops are supposed to say they're undercover, but all right. I just know what I know from TV. Right.
No,
I'm
actually,
sorry.
I'm a suspect like you. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm here.
I'm going to turn on ore.
And immediately she turns back to you, and there may as well be nobody else in the room. There may have been no murder right in front of her eyes this evening. All she can see is you.
I know this must be confusing, and you have done such an amazing job of helping us tonight. The problem is, you see, we gotta She says she's undercover. The doctor's making all sorts of jokes, and I don't want you getting confused. I don't want you, well, just want to make sure that you're safe, and the less you know, well, you know how these things go. How about you come outside with me?
Not really, but I like hearing you talk an awful lot.
Well, I love it when people are honest and kind like you. So, how about I get you home safe? And he offers his hand to help her get up.
She takes it immediately. Without a question.
He starts leading her out of the room.
I'm going to stop Hunter. If you hurt her, I'll kill you.
The doctor's such a joker. Now,
I'm not joking. I'm going to use Dominate to just cloud memory, just to make her forget that. But I'm gonna look Hunter square in the eyes and just...
For an unsuspecting mortal, it requires no roll. She forgets what you said. She looks down at her hand that's still in Hunter's, and she doesn't know how it got there, but it's okay, because she really likes him, and he still has awe activated. When she does take your hand, Hunter, you see track marks along her arm. She's starting to go into veins, as young as she is, that she shouldn't. Not that she should at all, but her other veins are flat. This girl obviously is living a rough life, and living here long enough, you know that is not uncommon here in Myrtle Beach. She said, well, I would really like a ride home. I gotta meet some friends. I gotta get some stuff. If I ain't getting no tender sugar over here tonight, I gotta get something somewhere. You know how it is. I need something so I won't get sick. You understand?
Well, and he's led her out of the room at this point. Are there cameras here?
No.
Okay. I learned some things, and I just like just hanging around you. So he hands her his number, and it's like, if you ever need anything, you just call me. And he leans in and gives her the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is intended to satiate her preference for drugs. He's going to use lingering kiss.
Lingering kiss. Okay, and she offers absolutely no resistance as you lean in. She might even flick her hair back because she wants you to kiss her. But that's because you're using the powers of your disciplines. And they're deep down, you know that. As charming as you are. And do you slake a hunger, I assume?
I think I'm at 2. Yes, so I go down to 1.
And for her, it's bliss. It's everything. Everything falls away. All of her pain, all of the problems that she has, all of her need to use drugs falls away. And that lingering kiss, Arata, you're taking away her need to get a fix tonight. Is that correct?
That's my intent, yeah.
I would say you'd be able to do that as well as you've charmed her tonight. And as you remove her fangs and lick the wound closed, she swoons a little bit. Wow, you're something else.
I'll do my best.
As soon as I can get myself to Walmart and get a new track phone, I am absolutely going to give you a call.
That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you so much for your help.
The lady outside, right? She's going to give me a ride home.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I'll lead her to the door and point her in the direction of the detective.
As Hunter is doing this with this woman, what are the three of you doing?
Autopsy time.
So, Galen, you are leading Astrid and Anthony to the trailer outside. So, assuming you would have walked past them.
Before he does that, I am putting my hand gently on Dr. Summers' shoulder and saying, Doctor, may I have a word with you?
You may.
I appreciate your passion for your patients. But if you threaten my boss again with death, I will devote the rest of my existence to destroying you.
You wouldn't be the first and I can guess with almost complete accuracy that you won't be the last either.
We'll see about that. Regardless, I am not intimidated by your antics, Doctor. You do not go around threatening to kill someone for harming mortals. Thank you for your time.
I would
Do
watch
I
your
hear
back.
this?
That is entirely up to you. Did Astrid stay behind in the room, or did she walk out to watch this little spectacle with Hunter?
No, she lingered to hear this then, unless they specifically waited for, like, sort of made it known that she should leave. Did you
That's
guys?
Fine.
And you
It's
heard it.
fine with me.
Alright, so we got that sorted. You guys gonna be good?
I'm good.
She looks at Anthony and
Gallon.
Galen.
If Anthony can contain himself, then we should have no problems.
Quite capable of containing myself. Let us continue.
Brought that into question a few times.
Doctor, please.
As you all
Alright,
exit out of the witness interrogation room, you see through the glass in the exterior doors, you see Hunter escorting Erica into Faith's sedan, and she plants a kiss on his cheek as he opens the passenger side door for her to get into the back.
guessing she won't be giving us trouble then. Not that she was to begin with, I suppose, but off we go.
And all you have left to do is look at a dead body.
Yup.
Faith is going to remain here until you all leave.
Okay.
Just so you know. So as you walk to the trailer, it has wooden steps that look like if you were to even do a little jump on it, it would collapse. So you must walk very carefully up the stairs. It's 2 or 3 steps. And there is not a regular lock, but a padlock on this door. So, Gallon, since you still have the keys, you must find the smaller key to unlock it. And as you do so, the first thing that hits all of you is the smell. Body rotting and a body mauled. It doesn't smell good. Faith didn't tell you how long she's kept Erica here. Hunter didn't ask. So you have no idea how long this body's been here, but you'd have to take a look at it. And there are no lights in here. So you're going to have to rely on the very dim street light outside.
I
Or
will
unless
take
any
a
of you has a
little
flashlight.
thing of like ammonia and just offer it to people to put under their noses. It's not the best smelling thing, but it'll help with the rot.
I don't mind
I'll
it.
take it. I'll take it.
No, oh okay, I'll hand it to Astrid.
Hunter, do you also go in to look at the body, or is this so not your thing?
It's not really his thing. He
Would
waits
you rather
out-
stay out with Erica? Maybe flirt with her in the car?
No, he's going to stay at the door and just kind of hang out just outside and listen in.
Sure. So, what you, Astrid, Anthony, and Gallon, what you see is a man who absolutely looked like he was attacked. His pants are ripped, his shirt is ripped, his face is slashed, his arms are slashed. He's so pale that he's almost pure white, like chalky white. And Gallon and Astrid, because I believe you have a specialty in medicine, intelligence and medicine.
Perfect.
Anthony, you can roll this too if you like. Intelligence, medicine, and whatever you guys get is what information you'll be able to glean from this.
One moment.
4 successes.
Excellent.
I can do this. I swear.
2
Medicine.
successes.
Okay.
I don't know the command. I have to ask Chris what the command is for the roll.
2 successes. The
think-
command is
I think I did
m.roll
that right.
5e. 5e.
All right.
You look at other people.
Yeah. There we go. Jeez.
How many?
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4,
5 successes.
5 successes?
Yes.
Well, Anthony, to you, it looks like a dead body. You've seen plenty of dead bodies. That just looks like maybe a bobcat got it, or like a really big coyote bit into it. Just looks like a dead body. Galen and Astrid. The body is not in hypostasis, which is strange. Normally, when a body is decomposing, the heart's not circulating anymore. So the blood, wherever it is in the body, relies on gravity, follows gravity, and pools wherever it will, leaving bluish, purplish splotches on the skin. There's
Liver
none.
mortis.
Well, rigor mortis, he's definitely in rigor
Yeah,
mortis.
liver mortis is what.
Liver mortis,
pooling,
correct. Correct. There's none. That is a huge red flag. And Astrid, even more so than that, you see what looks like just mauling marks. That's not mauling marks. In his left shoulder, that is a bite mark. That is from a kindred. Someone who bit with jaws wide and no concern for whether this man lived or died. That is
yeah.
what you all
Drained
see.
completely dry. Not a drop
Well-
left in him.
Check this out. She kind of like grabs the inside of her sleeve and kind of like pulls at the clothes that are half covering
Ripped.
the shoulder.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she just kind of like, so as not to touch him skin on skin, she touches her sleeve. She veils her hands like this and like pulls at his shirt and goes, "Look at this. Look at this. This is a bite. This guy was
I'll
not
offer a
attacked."
pair of blue rubber gloves to Astrid if she needs them.
Okay, I'll take them.
I'll put
Thanks.
them on myself. Yeah, this
Check this out. This is not good. This is not
considerable
normal.
force. Definitely kindred. This is concerning.
Anthony, you've definitely seen something like this now. You saw things like this during that little East Coast invasion in the 90s. Nobody likes to remember the 90s, but you've seen these bodies look like this during that. That's concerning.
It is. I believe our first. Is this where the body was found, or was it brought here?
It was brought here. As Faith said, she had to, she picked up the girl, and the girl directed her to where the body was found. About a mile up from where she found her. She'd walked about a mile.
Right. Well then, I would suggest that's where we start. I believe this man has been. Well, I think it should be obvious that it was one of our kind who did this to him.
Would you like to relay this information to the one party member who decided, nah, I don't want to see a dead body?
We can do so in the car.
There's something I wanted to ask. Is there like any blood left on this guy?
There's dried blood from where, when he was so severely bitten into, the blood pressure from the fright, from the adrenaline, splurted out onto parts of his clothes, parts of his skin, but inside his body, there is nothing. And again, you would know that from the liver mortis, from the hypostasis, that there is no blood pooling from the body.
Is there enough, like, even if I would take some dried blood, would that be enough to try to activate Taste of Blood, for example?
Taste of Blood is for kindred.
Okay,
He's
kindred
not a
only.
kindred.
All right. Okay.
But there is something else you can do, if you wanted. You could certainly ask Faith to tell you where she found Erica and the body, or you could simply use Illuminate the Trail of Prey, which is one of your rituals. That is entirely up to you. It requires a rouse check, a piece of white cloth or ribbon, and your blood. Well, Astrid hums and haws about it. Galen and Anthony, you exit out of the trailer. Thankfully, it smells. There's a dead body in there. And
Yeah.
Hunter is leaning up against the trailer. Maybe does he maybe smoke cigarettes or cigarillos?
He absolutely does, yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
usually load.
figured.
Sure.
He has lit up a cigarillo, one of those dark, thin cigars, and is smoking.
You know, if you weren't already dead, I'd warn you that those will kill you.
I thought it was you that was going to do that for me.
Well, that depends on how you behave tonight.
I'll be a good boy. Anything interesting that's not squishy and gross?
Kindred, definitely. Drained him dry. The attack was vicious, ravenous.
Well, I would want to go and do that.
Could be several different cases.
Mm-hmm.
White, considering the amount of damage done to the body, that is not unlikely. It could also be someone who simply enjoys toying with their prey.
Well, our friend Flynn in there, he was telling people to go to this church. Someone didn't want him to go to the church? Sending people there, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know.
It's possible.
As you say this, Hunter, church, Dara steps out from behind the trailer. Apparently she'd been waiting there the whole time. Didn't keep her promise to wait in the car. I know where this church is, Miss Astrid. Before, well, I used to look into folkloric legends and such, and there was a church built out here a long time ago. It's right by where well, it doesn't really matter. Maybe we'll talk about that another time, but I know where it is. She looks like, as she's talking to you, that she keeps wanting to elaborate or wanting to say things about herself, but something is stopping her. Those of you with dominate powers might know what that thing is.
But All right.
I can take you there right away. It's about 10-15 minutes up the road.
Well, if we're done here, maybe we should go. Do the other hear this, or?
She's right there with all of you.
Is there anything else we can check here? I think we're done. We should go.
Information that
There
was
is,
on Astrid's sheet, but I have that information now.
So do you all pile back into the SUV, into Dara's SUV?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you all pile in, Faith still waiting in her car with her laptop illuminated under the car light. She gives you just a quick wave. And as she waves, all of you see that she's wearing a charm bracelet. And on the bracelet is a silver violin. That might mean nothing. Might be something you want to keep in mind for when we start the chronicle. As Dara pulls out of the parking lot and back onto Route 9, again, it's dark. This is in the middle of nowhere. It's all dark woods. You have the stars, maybe a sliver of moon. There are no streetlights. This is a dangerous place for Kindred to be. You know what lurks out in these woods that is dangerous, besides whatever attacked this Swiss palace guard for the
Right.
Vatican City. Lupines live out here. So as you drive further and further, you can't help but feel a sense of dread approaching you. And pretty soon, Dara pulls over on the side of the road, and she rolls down her window, and you roll down your windows, and you see what looks like a church. You wouldn't necessarily call it a church. It looks more like a makeshift tent revival church. It's got a big open tent and just some plywood that's been nailed together to make an inside of a building. But the roof is a giant tent that's been stuck into the ground with wooden stakes.
I'm going to activate Sense the Unseen.
That is a rouse check or no?
I don't believe so, but I can double check. I have a PDF.
I don't think it's a rouse check. And then roll me wits and your level of aspects. Dara says, "This is the place. I've been here before. I don't know nothing about no drugs, but this is definitely the place that the girl was talking about."
Thanks.
2 successes.
Would you?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yes, Miss Astrid.
Please stay in the car and keep the. Be ready to go.
She bows
Or
her
would-
head. She bows her head and she says, "I will try, Miss Astrid. I always try, but sometimes it." And then she can't say anything else.
I know. I know.
2 successes. Sense the Unseen reveals things that are being supernaturally hidden. And you look around and you see some shimmering here and there, echoes of people who have died in this area. But there are no spirits here. There are no ghosts. There are no hiding Nosferatu out in the woods. There's nothing here to see.
All right.
Does everyone exit the vehicle?
Yup.
Yep.
As you approach, you see that this place is well lit. It seems to be a generator on the outside. You can hear it as you approach. And it seems to be lit with what looks like party lights or what you would put around a Christmas tree. It's nothing fancy. And you see there's people inside. It seems to be lively almost. Like they're
Go to the
partying or
car.
celebrating. How would you like to approach the building?
Well,
It's just a tent, you said.
Well, the roof is a tent. The inside is built with sort of makeshift plywood, quickly cobbled together.
Now, Astrid, I have a question. If your associate seems to know so well this place, then can I assume that someone inside might know who you are?
Me in particular, well,
You say you have a
You might
beef
do,
with
actually.
Lasombra, and if that's who we're chasing, then I want to make sure that you don't get found out straight away when we walk inside. Is that a correct assumption?
I believe so. I was going to almost suggest I could try to see what I can sense from outside and leave the rest to you, but
Well, if you want to go inside,
I
you
don't know
just have to
that's-
ask.
what are you implying? What's on your mind?
I can make us all unassuming on the inside. They won't pay no mind to you. They'll be able to see you, so if you start acting sketchy, then you're gonna draw attention, but they won't know your face from any other.
I like that. I can be quiet. Let's do this.
Then, just give me a second. he kind of cracks his neck, and I need to do 2 rouse checks and
Yes, you do.
use.
Well, no, it's equal to your wits, and I believe you have more than 2 wits. You have 3 wits.
I have a couple to rub together.
Oh.
Yeah, I do. If
Well, let me ask. Are you specifically just cloaking her, or are you trying to cloak everybody? Because then, yeah, you're gonna have to do multiple
I'll
rouse
ask
checks.
everyone and like just offer everyone else the same thing.
It's unnecessary, and I'll activate Unseen Passage.
Rouse check, please.
A cheeky little
Will do.
bastard.
You really are tempting fate.
That's my favorite thing to do. Right, I'm gonna do 2 rouse checks.
Does this
Like,
produce
don't get hungrier,
vitae
hell yeah.
from his eye?
It absolutely does.
I am at hunger for.
And you are at hunger for.
Wait, but don't I just go invisible?
You do go invisible, but that does not make your blood smell any less delicious.
Oh, well, that's awkward.
Willpower
I need you to
check.
roll me a frenzy check, Anthony. That is going to be your unspent willpower and 1/3 of your humanity rounded
Oh
down.
no.
That's 8 dice. And are any of those hunger dice?
No.
It's 5 successes.
That is enough. Your fangs pop out of your mouth without any provocation, and your beast is furious to be denied, and you feel it stretch and groan and bite. But you're able to hold it in and get those fangs back in, but you need to feed, and you need to feed soon. You're not Hunter. You don't have this kind of luck forever. Hunter, what did you roll on your rouse checks?
2 successes, so
Like I said, Hunter is always lucky.
and tempting the fates is his every day, every night.
Sort of what you're all about.
Yeah, it's his favorite thing to do. So, yeah, Hunter, Astrid, and Anthony all just look boring now.
They look quite plain, quite unextraordinary. Like you couldn't pick them out of a crowd if you wanted to. And so, do you approach the building?
After you.
And Galen also approaches the building, unseen. Since you're able to very gingerly wipe away that blood, better be careful so you don't break your obfuscate. You hear more music. You hear more people. It's getting louder as you approach. And right at the doorway, you see a woman. Astrid. You recognize the way this woman is dressed, but you don't recognize her face.
Mhm.
She's not the one. What the rest of you see is a woman wearing a black Grecian toga dress, black lace eye mask, and her eyes, the sclera, the pupils, the whites, the iris, all of it, are black. And she steps in front of the makeshift door, and she puts her hands in front and she says, "Good evening. How do you all find yourself at our party? Are you worshippers? Are you here to partake in our service?"
We are indeed. A fellow called Flynn told us all about what you provide here. I do hope you have some of that sugar.
I don't know anybody named Flynn, but if you're looking for tender sugar, you found the right place. But I need the password.
Please?
If she's holding the door open, I will slip through.
There is no door.
Oh, there isn't a door.
Simply
Oh.
her body in front of the door.
Well, that's unfortunate.
She flicks her eyes to you, Astrid. Although you are plain, and if she flicked her eyes away, she would forget what you look like. She looks at you and cocks her head, and she says, "Oh, I didn't realize there were one of our own with you. Of course, you can come in." And she moves out of the way of the door.
Yes. Apologies. Didn't want to keep a high profile. As it happens.
That's, for what we do, it's dangerous, I understand.
But that was very nice of you that you remembered about the password and everything. I think that's really good. I appreciate that. For what it's worth, of course.
I am quite low on the rank. I don't know where you stand, but Penelope is the one who comes up with all these rules and things like that. She talks much more casually now with Astrid, much quieter, as if not to let the rest of you hear. And she says, "Well, please, go in. But you should know, your friends, Tender Sugar won't do anything for what we are."
I know. Don't worry about it.
It's for the mortals, for the people, the humans.
Yeah. No. I know. We'll have a look and see if there's anything to help and stuff like that, and then
Of course, kind of sister, you're welcome here.
Thank you.
And as she steps out of the way and lets you through, there are throngs of young people looking quite similar to Erica in the sense of they're emaciated. They don't look well. They don't look like they live well. They look like they're very heavy into the drug scene. And they're sitting in chairs. Looks like they've maybe taken ratty chairs that people were throwing away, or they've headed off to the dump to, just get crates and, whatever they could for furniture, old ratty blankets, and they're lounging. Some of them are dancing. Some of them are doing other things. And what's being passed around, it's quite obvious and open and everyone can see it, is little sugar cubes. Except that they're black and very shiny. If you didn't know they were putting them in their mouths, it looks like a toy. It looks like something plastic, but that's what you see.
Astrid is by her own not very flashy in personality at the very least. Mm-hmm. So she does seem a little bit surprised at that she was able to at the conversation that she had just had. So
I'm sure that she is.
Astrid.
She's a little, yeah.
While I do have my suspicions, would you be so kind as to confirm with our hosts whether or not this is the group known as the Daughters of Oblivion? In a subtle way, if that is all right with you.
Yeah, I'll go talk to some people, I suppose. Let me check.
Good luck.
And she kind of how loud is the music? How
Very.
High? Oh gosh.
It's loud. It's winter in Myrtle Beach, but fortunately winter doesn't really go above 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius for you Europeans. And so it's not very cold. Maybe some of them have some blankets wrapped around them, but they can stay out all night and they can have a good time. And they're not going to freeze to death or anything like that. As you circle around the room, does anyone try and get any of this tender sugar? There's one of you. There's one of you who has actually heard of this drug before, I believe.
If I can't get my hands on it because of my obfuscate, then I will whisper to Hunter to just grab me a bit of it so I can take it back to the lab.
Feeling peckish, are you? Yeah, I go over to someone who's just handing this stuff out, right?
Can't really discern if someone is handing it out, a specific person. It just seems to be being passed around. People just seem to have it.
I'm gonna just ingratiate myself with a group that's passing stuff around, just lounge for a bit and grab a couple.
You see a young man who says, "Hey, you want to try some of this shit? It's good." He's very out of it. You're not even sure if he can even see you. You try some of this?
I'm just gonna hold out my hand and smile.
He holds it up to your mouth.
Sure.
Open wide, brother.
I open my mouth.
Put it on your tongue. It disintegrates immediately, even though you have no saliva. Well, I suppose you do have saliva since you do lick wounds, but it disintegrates immediately. And if you don't if you don't activate the blush of life immediately, you are going to throw up. This does nothing for you, and you cannot stomach it. So I need you to make a rouse check, or I need you to throw up on everyone. It's your choice.
Very tempting options. I'll do a rouse check.
Mm-hmm.
Which I pass.
Like I said,
Very lucky.
So you immediately activate the blush of life. You don't like doing it too often. Your lungs got to kick in, and your heart's got to, such a shock to the system. And you feel warm. Take a few breaths. You blink a few times, just to get that going. And now you don't have to throw up, at least right away. You're going to have to throw up later, and that sucks.
I just
What do you
kind of
think, man? What do you think? It's good, right? It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. Hey, can I get some of that for my friends?
Nah, man, this is ours. You gotta talk to Penelope. This ain't free, man. I know I just gave you one, but this ain't free. I was just feeling generous.
Oh,
I'm
you're
feeling
so
generous anymore.
Oh, well, guess if that's the extent, I better go find Penelope. How out of it is this guy?
If you didn't know he was immortal, you would assume he was another one of these La Sombra with as black as his pupils are. And big.
I might just see if I can lift some of this stuff off of him.
Sure. Let's say dexterity and larceny. Anthony, as you're walking through the crowd of people, what are you doing?
I am trying to take stock on how many kindred there are currently present in this tent. I'm trying to spell them. I have
Sense the beast.
Sense the beast, which I will.
No rouse check, right?
No rouse check. I will employ it as often as I can just to see if I can get a read on people. And if I get an opportunity to speak with Hunter alone for a few moments, that would be grand.
Well, you know the kindred who you met when you walked in. Were you using Sense the Beast when you walked in?
Yes.
Her beast is not very angry. Maybe it's a little demure. Maybe it's quite satiated. But you sense another one. I'm not going to make you roll because there aren't very many kindred here except for your friends, and you know what they are. There's another one further in the back where the sound of the generator is louder. Her beast is a little bit more controlling. It's telling her to eat. It's telling her to feed. She's hungry. And that's when you smell it too. One of these patrons has bumped into a rusted lawn chair. He's cut his knee. And when you smell that, you think, that doesn't smell like mortal blood. That smells like, it doesn't even smell as good as kindred blood. That smells like the best blood I've ever smelled. And I need you to roll me a frenzy check again. Anyone at hunger level 3.
Frenzy check?
Frenzy check. That is your unspent willpower and your humanity, 1/3 of your humanity rounded down.
Got it.
Successes? Got it as in you understand, or got it as in you rolled?
Got it as in I understand. I'm rolling now.
Okay.
8 successes.
Chris, you're muted. Gallon, you smell it.
Galen, very important that you need to add the 5e to your roll, so you need to re-roll. I have to do that. I got 3 successes.
Barely. 3 was the minimum I wanted you to roll. It's been a long time since you've attacked a mortal, and you wanted to rip his throat out. You feel as if you bit into this person, you wouldn't stop, and then you'd bite into the next one, and the next one. It is a strange feeling that is not coming solely from your beast. Gallon, what did you get?
I transformed a great roll into a terrible one. Successes.
2 successes? Gallon, immediately you drop unseen passage. You can't help it. You smell that blood and you move so quickly. You knock into a table, you knock over somebody's drink, and you locate that person, and it's another young man, and he's like, "Oh man, I cut my knee, it's hilarious." And he just keeps on partying like it's nothing, and you make a beeline for him.
Yep.
And there's nothing's gonna stop you from eating him.
Blood in the water.
Except a hand reaches out onto your chest, almost against your throat, and grabs onto your shirt and pulls you away. And the hand is from another La Sombra, not the one you met before. And she says, "Don't drink their blood. Under any circumstances, don't drink their blood."
My apologies.
There's nothing to apologize for. I almost did it myself. Where are your friends? I need to talk to them.
They're scattered around the place. You wouldn't mind telling me about this, this substance?
The tender sugar.
Yes.
We use it. It's a drug. Gets people into our place, and actually it's not really important what we do because you're not one of us, and I don't really care to talk about our dogma to you or our doctrine. There's
I offer
something
no
wrong
judgment.
with I don't care what you offer. I know exactly what you are, and I don't even know why you're here unless you have a death wish already, and then I have no wish to talk to you. There is something wrong with the drug. We use it, it makes the mortals more pliable, it makes it easier to do what we do. But there's something wrong with it.
I'm aware of that. A patient came into my practice and died due to to accidental exposure to it. That's why I'm here.
You're a doctor?
Correct.
It doesn't affect the people. The people seem to like it just as much as anybody else.
I'm a veterinarian.
Wow. Anyway, she looks around and she sees, the first person she sees is Astrid, and she says, "Oh, you brought one of our sisters. I can tell, I can sense it."
Do I see this?
You certainly do.
When I see our eyes lock, I just come over. Kind of between the
Do you try and grab Anthony and Hunter if you see them? Hunter,
Yeah,
were you able to steal that tender sugar?
I got 3 successes.
Yeah.
I got
And you get 3 sugar cubes.
Sweet. I'm gonna get wasted.
As you successfully sneak them into your back pocket, you see Astrid wave her hand at you. Anthony, you see this as well. And she indicates for you both to follow her. Do you do so?
Did have other intentions, but if the boss man follows, then so will I.
Yeah, I'm gonna make contact with eye contact with Anthony. Just let's see what they're about, and I intercept you on the way there. I'm like, apparently we're looking for someone called Penelope.
To me.
Yeah.
be interesting for you to know that if these are the Daughters of Oblivion, they're a walking Masquerade violation just waiting to happen. I don't believe any authority would bat an eye if we were to wipe them out. Just something to have into consideration.
I don't know what to do with that information, but thank you. You have fun. Yeah, and keep walking.
As you
You're
all,
your own man.
As you all approach, as soon as you get close enough to her, Astrid, she takes your hands and she looks at you and she says, I can feel it. Show me that you're one of us.
Let me see.
Do you activate Oblivion Sight?
Yeah.
And as you all look, Astrid's eyes go from beautiful blues to completely black. Not a thing Tremere tend to be able to do. Do you keep it activated, or then do you deactivate it?
Well, I take a glance around really quickly.
You don't see any ghosts, which is really... These women are keeping Oblivion Sight up for the theatrics, you think. You don't know too much about them. Really.
Then I do not keep it up, and I drop it.
Okay. Well, you are. I see it. But I've never seen you in any of our meetings. Oh, I understand. Smile goes across her face. You're the survivor from the other ones. Oh, we don't need to talk about that nasty business, but come back here another night and we'll talk about it. I heard there was a survivor, and I'm very happy to see that you're here.
That is correct. That's what the hesitancy was about as well.
I understand it. Those women, what they did, it's not what we do here. They left our little coven here. They had their own ideas about how to best serve the void, and it's not what we do. We use the drug. And she looks directly at Galen, who had already asked her about this. We use the drug to encourage these mortals to do bad things. It is not only souls that feed the maw of the abyss. The horrible things that people do every day rain down upon it and give it sustenance. So that is what we encourage here. But our supplier of tender sugar, he's disappeared. And we have a new... someone claimed that he got the recipe from him. I think he called it alchemy, but I'm not sure. And it's not the same, and it's not working. Someone met another kindred after they left our place. They never came back. We've heard rumors from other people that whoever's drinking from people who have taken the drug, their beast takes over and they turn into whites. That's what we've heard. I don't know if you know what that is. I don't know how old any of you are, but that is the last thing you want to be as one of us.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
And concerning, of course.
It's very bad for business.
Most assuredly so. You are close to several different cities in South Carolina. You are providing these mortals with a drug that will trigger the beast within any kindred who drink from it. A less forgiving prince would consider this a great threat to their city.
I fall under no princedom or barony.
I don't think they care when they say
Marianne Park can claim Loris as the edge of her barony if she wants to, but she can come here herself. There may only be 2 of us now, but my sisters are legion.
I would speak with you about the other sisters, if possible.
I would speak to you about it on another night.
Okay.
I am trying to... I didn't provide these mortals with the tender sugar. They brought them from the strip. If I could offer you a great boon, would ask that you try and discover for me who they are getting it from on the strip. They like coming here. They're part of our worship, so they make the long trek here. But I can't provide them with it anymore, and I would like to go back to the way things were. And that is when you hear gunshots outside. Automatic gunshots that ring into the night, and any other person or supernatural creature will hear it. And you would say there's at least 3 different guns being shot. And through the plywood, towards the front where the doorway is, a man crashes through it. His ears are pointed like a wolf's. His hands are furry, and his nails are long, and his fangs come down almost to his chin. His eyes are white and dead. And he attacks the very first person he sees, which is Sarah, who greeted you at the door.
Oh no.
And he bites into her neck immediately before she can react and begins draining her. And you all see in the distance, those gunshots are coming. They're getting closer. The people scream, they run, they begin jumping out of the little cracks in the plywood, the places where they don't exactly come together, and Penelope envelops herself in shadow and disappears.
Oh, thanks, Penelope.
Well,
should we roll for initiative or just?
Well, we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh, yeah,
so
that's true.
what do you do?
I'm going to, out of my bag, take the, because I don't know, some of my DMs will use a rolling system, but that's besides the point. I'm going to take out of my bag a dart pistol used for tranquilizing large and dangerous animals in zoos. And I'm going to load it with a shot of horse tranquilizer. And then I am going to try to shoot the werewolf with it.
Composure, firearms. Hunter, what are you doing?
How many mortals are in here?
Well, they're fleeing pretty quickly.
Okay.
There's maybe about 5 who are way too out of it to stand up.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, in that case, I am going to pull out a gun and attempt to shoot.
What gun does Hunter carry, or does he have the 9mm Glock that Faith had given to you all already?
I think that got given to
That's right, Astrid has that gun.
Astrid. So he would probably have his own 9mm.
Sure.
It's,
Composure firearms. Are you aiming for the what Galen believes is a lupine?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm gonna shoot it. And just because I'm so lucky and I like to push that, I'm gonna do a rouse check for an extra couple of dice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anthony,
That
what
one
are you
I
doing?
fail. But
Off my gloves.
This is just some kind of. Oh, this could also be a frenzying.
Well, don't give it all away.
My tranquilizer is not going to work, is it?
I start moving towards whatever this thing is. There's the sound of bones and skin and flesh crackling and popping as I just grow rather large, razor sharp claws.
Are you willing to risk a rouse check to do this?
Of course I am. I've been containing myself this entire session, and my plan is to feed, guard, do it.
Sure were. Astrid, are you using the gun that was given to you by the detective to shoot this thing And I also need for you to roll me composure and firearms.
Please fail. Check.
Oh
Aster
no.
Your beast refuses to be denied. But I do need you to roll me another frenzy check to see if you are going to frenzy. And one of
5
these,
successes.
that is enough. Just barely. And the blood, as much as your beast screams in your head, just eat someone. Eat the guy. Eat the woman. It doesn't matter. I always knew you were weak.
Anthony,
I should have left you in that ground where I put you.
Maybe you should have. But you
But
didn't.
the blood does as you will. And your hands become what weapons were they again?
Feral weapons. They become
Feral
claws
weapons.
about double the old size.
And are you
Oh.
going to attack this creature?
That is the intention, yes.
Strength and brawl.
Strength and brawl.
Back to Gallon. What was your composure firearms result?
Let me double. Four successes.
He's not moving. He's holding Sarah up, crushing her to his body, and he's draining her. And you shoot 4 horse tranquilizers, maybe 2, maybe it's
Yeah.
2. Nothing happens. He
Oh, I
doesn't
should've
even
shot
notice.
Sarah with it. Then too late
Hunter.
for that.
Composure firearms.
Hunter's luck has run out,
Oh,
and
no.
he got 3, and then I re-rolled, and then I got an extra 0.
Okay, and so your result was
3.
just 3, and you do get hungrier. You're 3 hunger now?
2.
You're still at 2. All right. Oh, that's right, because you
I was luckier
took
earlier.
a little nip from Erica. That's right.
Mm.
Okay, so you shoot him, and I think a 9mm is +2, so you do 5 superficial damage, and he feels that. Whoever this guy is, he ain't that strong, and he pulls his fangs out of Sarah immediately and looks around, sort of dumbfounded, and then just goes right back to feeding on her. Astrid, what was your result?
Rude.
I believe, if I'm reading this right, I got like a critical success. Is that correct?
Let me look. So,
1 success.
had-
You need to roll 2
One
of those to get a critical success.
That's right. Sorry, I got you. So 1 success.
yes, 1 success. You miss. You maybe hit the plywood, and the plywood explodes outwards into the woods, but you don't hit him, and he's just feeding. Anthony, strength and brawl.
I rolled. I got 6 successes.
6 successes. +2 for feral weapons. You launch at him, and all of you see just a blur behind you as Anthony leaps over bodies on the ground and jumps onto this, whatever this thing is, attacking the woman. And he rips into him with boned claws. He pulls out huge amounts of flesh out of his neck, out of his back, scratches him down the face, and he collapses in torpor. Almost instantaneously. It's almost too much damage for his body to bear.
Perfect. I will begin to drain him.
Absolutely. Are you attempting to Diablerize him or just drain him?
It's tempting. But not yet. I will just drink until we reach that point.
And how is
And-
the? Oh, sorry.
And you lean down and you drink from him. And it's going to take a few minutes for you to be fully satiated, which I assume is your intention. It doesn't taste great, but it tastes pretty good right about now. Please do not forget, coming rapidly towards you are people with guns. They were quite a distance away. They seemed to be chasing him through the woods, but they're getting closer.
I have a body shield in front of me.
Yeah.
How is the person who was fed on? How are they doing?
They seem to be quite out of it, quite weak. They look like they need to feed as well, but they are not in torpor.
All right, we need to get out of here. We can go back to my practice. It's safe there. I can, at that point, I can operate.
So, do you pick up the woman?
Yes.
Sarah, her name was?
I will pick up Sarah.
I can help.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And Astrid, as you run over to help, who peeks in through one of the cracks? But Dara. And she says, "I'm so sorry, Miss Astrid. I couldn't stay in the car. I heard the gunshots. I have to protect you. You know I have to protect you."
It's okay. Let's go.
Come on.
Get
Let's
her
go
and go. Come on.
She looks down at Anthony and sees what he's doing. Tell him he's gotta hurry up, or he's gotta stop. We gotta go. Or he's gotta stay here.
I'll stick with Anthony, don't worry. Your pretty little head's about it. You head on
We'll
first.
leave the back door open, but you gotta hurry. And I said this as I'm getting the girl up to her feet.
She has a small flashlight, just a small one you clip to a backpack. It doesn't make a big light for these, whoever they are, who are coming. And she slips you out through that crack in the plywood and leads you to the car. Anthony, you're at 2 hunger now. Do you want to keep feeding?
No. You said there was a piece of plywood nearby.
There, a piece of plywood that's sort of got a big enough crack that you could, if you walked sideways, you could something like that.
Okay. Well, it's in the name, so I'm assuming the plywood stakes will work just fine through the heart of a kindred.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I will do. I will stake this disgusting creep, and I will carry him with me.
Mm-hmm. Because he is in torpor, he will offer no resistance. So I would just say intelligence medicine to see if you can see where his heart is.
Absolutely.
And Hunter, what are you doing?
Well, Hunter doesn't want to get murdered by whoever's chasing whatever this is, so he's going to step to the door, see if he can see the people with guns headed their way.
Oh, you can see them.
Cool. He's going to use Fata Morgana to replicate this creature running full pelt in another direction.
I love it. Does that require a rouse check? I believe so.
It does. I'm going to be real hungry by the end of this. I got a groupie though.
Well, yeah, you absolutely have a groupie who is definitely going to give you a call. I don't remember what you roll for fun.
Manipulation plus obfuscate.
That's the one.
And I was
so focused on remembering the salubri stuff, I forgot about that.
No, that's fine. Okay, so I guess we need to decide. It's visual. It is probably auditory as well, and I think it is. The difficulty is 1 plus the number of affected senses.
I would say you could get away with just the visual.
I will do as much as I can with 4 successes, and this thing goes roaring and bursting in like a tangential direction to the way we're off to.
So you will your blood, you will to project sort of the image or whatever you want to call it, a visual thing of this man, whatever he was, running towards them and then making a sharp left turn so that they absolutely see it.
Yeah.
And sort of running probably faster than he could actually have run and skirting around them and going back the way they came. And I highly doubt they'll. Yeah. They're like, there he is! And they go off.
Yeah, you get him. I turn around and I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Anthony,
with a reroll on a point of willpower spent, I have 1 success. So I'm not.
You think you got it in the heart?
It's fine. He's in torpor.
Then there.
It's plywood. It's a
As
hack
soon
job
as
anyway.
we're, as
So,
soon
and
as
I'll get right to you, Gal.
yeah, sorry.
So as soon as you stab him in, you're like, that's sort of where the heart is, the general area. You head off
Pick
with
him up.
Hunter.
Yeah. I make sure that my fingers retract to their usual
Of course.
non-bony state as we move rapidly.
Galen and Astrid and Dara, you reach the car. Do you put Sarah in the back in the trunk?
I
It's an
will.
SUV, so
I will. As soon as we get in the car, my goal is to operate and try to restore her to some level of functionality. So, I'm.
well,
going to
she's not injured.
Oh, okay.
She's just very, very hungry. So I would suggest, as a storyteller, don't use any disciplines right now.
Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, now I was imagining that she had a big bite wound, but okay, that's good.
Superficial damage. It's not really something that's going to bother her. She's
Okay.
just really hungry. So, and she's a little out of it. She's not really sure what happened. It's a little bit of a shock. So she didn't put up any resistance when you took her.
Perfect. Then I'll just make sure she's okay, and then wait for Hunter and Anthony, and then we need to get out of here.
And you arrive. Hunter and Anthony jump in the car.
Yes.
I don't think we put her in the back in the trunk or anything. We just squeezed together in the back, I guess.
That's entirely up to you if she sits in the back row of the seats.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You can
I hold her up and I fix her shirt a little bit.
How much
And
room do we have?
Her toga.
as you put the staked vampire, or whatever he is, into the back, all of you who look at him, before you close the trunk, you can definitely see that he is kindred. He was not a lupine in the middle of changing. He has a gangrel who must have been frenzying non-stop for days, if not weeks. And as you close the trunk, that is where we're going to end our one shot for now. What I've laid in threads of what is happening in Myrtle Beach, of the things that are going on. If you want to know what's going to happen to these kindred, what on earth is going on with Astrid, and is Anthony really a caitiff? We will be starting our Chronicle Blood on the Grand Strand next Saturday on twitch.tv/gamingftl. And I want to thank all of my lovely players. You guys are absolutely awesome. I'm trying to hurry this along because Mr. Josh has another game immediately afterwards in 10 minutes. So I want to thank you all so much. Thank you. Please donate if you can. It's a really good cause to direct relief. Thank you to all my beautiful players. You guys are awesome. I'm so happy that Galen didn't get eaten because I kind of thought he might. And
The tempting fate there a couple of times.
yeah, I don't know how you survive Frenzy so much. And thank you. If there's anything you guys want to say, go ahead and say it. Josh, you're in charge of the stream stuff.
No, everyone, thank you for watching. Stay tuned if you want to watch Stitch of Fate's one-shot coming up right after, GM'd by Mathis Games. Huddy is amazing though, and you should follow her at Huddy von Schland on YouTube to see VODs and stuff of this campaign as it happens. So yeah, we'll transition to a waiting screen, but until then, thank you very much for watching.
Bye.
Thank you very much.